Yeah, the woke church isn't the church. It's just a movement within the movement of the historic ancient gospel. What we're saying, we want to be aware of the racial injustice issues that are going on in this country and make that an aspect of the way we promote Jesus Christ having an answer for and care about. In other words, Jesus does care about the economic state of African American kids and families and communities. Jesus Christ does care about the school to prison pipeline and the amount of black men that are in prison. Jesus Christ does care about single mothers and how the church can come around single motherhood, particularly African American mothers. Jesus does care about the abortion rate in black communities and the amount of abortion clinics that are disproportionately placed in black communities. When we talk about this as a movement, we're talking about really a practical outreach movement that both has a thought side, where we develop thought leaders who are talking and developing and proclaiming about these issues prophetically. But then we have hands and feet. We got hands, mouth, eyes, and a feet ministry. And so for us now, what is it time to do? Now we got to get hands on in the streets. We got to get in our neighborhoods, begin doing stuff like what are the three greatest needs? That's one of the things that we do. What are the three greatest needs? What are the three greatest influences? What can the church do about it? And how do you feel like racial injustice has impacted this community? And how can the church come around and be a partner in not being a perceived co-conspirator of racial injustice, but actually being a defender of those who can't defend themselves? Proverbs chapter 31, verse 8 and 9. These, I'm telling you, if the church begins to care about these issues in practical ways, like right now, particularly even, and I'm not dogging the black church because I'm a product of the black church, but most of us, whether true or false, we're perceived as pimps, we're perceived as womanizers. We're not perceived as activists. We're not perceived as caring. So we need to, the issue is that's false, right? We do have our groups of people who that can apply to, but now the church, we got to get out of these walls. When people in the neighborhood, we ask them, this is not something we make up. When we talk to actual people in communities, they're asking, where is the church? What do you exist here for? Are you just taking up physical real estate, or do you care about what's going on around here? When we talk about the woke church, no neighborhood in this country should ever say they don't know who the pastor is of the church of a building that's in the neighborhood. No church in any neighborhood in our country should not have some type of knowledgeable connection of what's going on at the church, and that the church has some type of care. Even if people don't trust Christ, we want them to trust Christ, and we're going to clearly proclaim Jesus. The challenge is the question, if somebody went to your block, to your neighborhood and said, what does that church do in this neighborhood? What would they say? Oh, we just see them on Sundays and Wednesdays. Nah, I don't know if I want to go before the judgment seat of Christ with just a building and with us appearing in a building on Sundays and Wednesdays. I actually want to carry some of the people from my neighborhood with me to glory, right? Because of sharing the gospel with them. But also, guess what else I want to do? I want to have had cared for those young boys and girls, those young black boys and girls. I would want to provide for them godly images of people of color to show them that Christianity isn't a white man's religion. I would want to take down the white Jesus if that is a stumbling block for them, which it shouldn't be in our churches anyway. I mean, I could go on and on and on and on. But when we talk about the woke church as a movement, this is the type of ground floor stuff that we're looking to do. Educating our people so that a group, a generation, what they call it, Y and Z, if you want to, now it's millennial Y and Z, right? That the church still has a pulse of what's going on with the next generations, not once they're gone, how can we get them in the church now? No, that's not how you do ministry. You do ministry by forward thinking. That means churches, guess what you have to do? Some of your people have to start stepping out of positions. And just because somebody's been in the ministry for 40 years or 30 years doesn't mean they're being effective. And what happens is you landlock a lot of ministries because so many people, young people who are gifted, who are maturing, and who want discipleship want to get in place, but you've been in your role so long that your role is about your role and it's no longer about ministry. And so what you got to do is churches need to have the humility to say, brother, sister, we're going to give you your flowers while you living. We love you, and we're going to have a banquet. But your ministry in this form is over. We need to get fresh new leaders in here who understand the internet, who understand technology, who understands connecting, who understands what's going on the Breakfast Club. You know what I'm saying? What's going on all, you know, DJ Academics, and who know what Joe Button is talking about, what's going on in culture, to be able to say, how do we apply the Bible to these issues? They know who, like, you may drive by, see some Hebrew Israelites out, and you're like, well, who are those people? Why are they yelling, and why they, some of them curse, and da-da-da-da-da, and you don't know who they are, and you just drive past, but you don't know that your young people are walking past them, and they're getting answers, false answers from them that they should be getting from the church. But you're walking past all them people. Like, nah, you got to learn how to tie this two partner generationally. That's this, when we talk about woke, this is the type of stuff we talk about. We're not talking about all of this, anti that. We're talking about what we're for. So that's what woke means for us, in the sense of content and practice, the long range of things. And really, when you sum up woke, it means encouraging the church to be the church when it comes to racial injustice, and not forgetting the gospel in the process, period. That's what it is.